This is a Dwarf Lionfish Aquarium. It's starting to come together very nicely. I've only just today put some new rock in here, and we recently put some macroalgae in here. Yeah, really starting to like how it's looking. There's the dwarf fuzzy lionfish, and hiding up the back there is a dwarf zebra lionfish. I love perching on this branching rock. I just put this together, that rock there. Got a little cave there to hide in. And I made a little shelf there. So the lionfish often like to hide in a little shelf like that. They'll sit there upside down and survey their surroundings and hope for something to come along that they can eat. We've got another little rock here. And up the back there, a green macroalgae, that's a Koaleigh. That's a Gracilia, a red there, and that's a dragon's breath. And over here, there's another Koaleigh. It's I think a Koaleigh mexicana. But the idea with this aquarium is to grow macroalgae in here. Might get some photosynthetic gorgonians. But we don't have a sump on this aquarium, so growing macroalgae is a form of exporting nutrients, and it helps to also, liven up the aquarium, add a bit of colour to it. Should really look nice, I think, once it all starts to grow. And something I've been considering on the branches of the branching rock, might actually get some pulsing xenia growing up there. I think it'll look quite sweet. I've always had a thing for pulsing xenia, and seeing pulsing xenia just growing up the branches, I think it'll be quite an interesting effect. Add a bit of life and movement to the tank and seeing it pulsing away. And probably on the base, I'm thinking of maybe getting some of the green grape Koaleigh, have that cover the base because that likes to grow on rock, and should hopefully limit the pulsing xenia to the branches. So that stuff generally tends to grow upwards and not so much outwards, so I think that'll look quite cool. Been wanting to get some pulsing xenia, so I think that's the perfect spot to put it. And we've only got like a normal LED sitting on top. It's not like any full spectrum or anything, it's just white mostly with a few blue LEDs on there. So that's why mostly we want to just have macroalgae in here, not planning on really having any coral except for the pulsing xenia. I think this light should be quite sufficient. Both of the dwarf lionfish are doing extremely well. We've now had the dwarf fuzzy lionfish, I think about 5 weeks. We've had the dwarf zebra in here almost 2 weeks now, and both of them are now weaned onto frozen food. So we can get a better shot. Not really, but yeah, that's the dwarf zebra hiding back there. They're both now, when it's feeding time, recognising us as their food source and swimming at the top of the aquarium, hoping to get fed. The Fuzzy now eats frozen krill, frozen silverside, frozen shrimp, and hikari carnivore pellets, and the dwarf zebra eats the frozen krill, eats the frozen silverside. That's about all he eats at the moment. No, he also eats the frozen shrimp, but he's not eating pellets yet. Look at that fat belly. He won't stop eating. You give him half a chance. He's the dominant fish at the moment. He's the one that's been in there the longest. Got to be very careful when I'm trying to feed the dwarf zebra that he doesn't steal all the food. But yeah, doing really, really well. He's a fantastic looking fish. He's very active, always begging for food, whereas the dwarf zebra, once he gets a couple of bits of food, he's then quite content to chill out on the rocks. So very, very happy with how our Dwarf Lionfish Aquarium is coming along. I'm sure it's going to evolve a lot more. Whether or not we get some more lionfish, we'll see what comes up. We would like to get a Fu Manchu in here, but they're not the easiest fish to find. But yeah, just have to wait and see, I guess, what comes along and see how this aquarium evolves.